Hello friends, and welcome back to MSBN's coverage of Marble Fubeca. I'm Ricochet here as we bring you another collision tournament. A look at our large course. It is a pleasure to be back with you for another collision-style tournament, which will face, and we will see a lot of different teams. 16 teams once again in this field. A smaller, less time-consuming, I guess you should say, tournament, as we will get just one round. There are the 2019 team statistics for these countries. There are 13 of them. We have 16 in this field. It is the United States, Cameroon, India, and Germany, and then Russia, Chile, Colombia, and Mexico on the left side of the bracket. The bottom right quadrant has, that is Belgium, and Portugal, and then Spain, and Brazil, and then Japan, England, the Netherlands, and Argentina. As we get ready for this tournament, this is a smaller, less time-consuming tournament. Same amount of teams, but instead of multiple goes, it'll be just one turn, as you'll make your way into the arena, make contact with those spinners. As you can see, this is a course that really throws you right in there with the spinners. The United States in the blue and red, Cameroon with green, and they make their way toward the course. One is in for Cameroon, everybody else rolling around, and it looks like nobody else is going to land. The United States doesn't get a single marble to go in. You'll have to watch up at the top of your screen, almost blocked by our view, but there it is. The only score is 3 points for Cameroon, and so maybe a what will be considered an upset by many, as Cameroon moves on first. They beat the United States, and we head to the other opposite side of the bracket. It is Argentina against the Netherlands. Argentina in the blue, and the Netherlands in orange. These matte-colored marbles. All together, they make their way in. Everybody slowly over toward the 4 is almost everyone. Nobody gets in again, and so it's one, again, single marble that will end up as the score. Watch here, contact made with a spinner, knocked it right in, and it's 3 points for Argentina, and they move on to the quarterfinals. An interesting start, as both Cameroon and Argentina score just one, and the Netherlands and the United States are shut out, and they go home. Now to Mexico against Colombia. Mexico sporting a new marble with almost entirely green. And they scored all 3. Let's see if any go in for Colombia. They get one to go in the 8, but that is too little too late. Mexico scores 13 points. There was one that lands in the 7, one in the 2, one in the 4. And then some help from the spinners to score a point, but just one single score is not going to be enough from Colombia, as Mexico's 13 points will stand up, and they are into the quarterfinals. Back to the bottom right corner now, and it'll be Portugal against Belgium. Belgium in the black, Portugal in the green. Love the matte coloring of these marbles. In they go. Everyone making their way around. Everybody is still on the course right now. Will anybody find their way in? Wow, at the last moment, Portugal gets one to fall in the 7, and they will score another shutout. It took a little bit of time. For a second, it looked as though there may have to be a rerun, as almost a possibility there that nobody was going to score. But Portugal takes out Belgium, and now it is Germany against India. India in the white, Germany with mostly black. Make their way down toward the course. And there are marbles going every which way. One landed in the 10. I think that's the only one that's going to land, because the one for Germany is over by the 6, but it's not going to go in, and so the points won't count. A 10 for India. They move on by a shutout score of 10-0. And yet again, issues with some of these teams to even score. Now we get England against Japan. Japan is the white with blue. Looks like that's dark red for England. There's a 2. And I missed the other one for England, but they scored another one as well, and it looks like Japan trying to get something to go. Getting knocked around a bunch of times, but they are not going to be able to score. They will fall just short in front of the 2. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Yeah, I missed right there at the bottom of the screen. You saw the 7. And then 2 more for England. Yet another shutout. England is on. They'll face Argentina. And our last 2 spots, one will be occupied by either Chile or Russia. Interesting how this shoot puts you right in with the spinners and forces action. Chile in the white. Everybody making their way down. There's a couple of 8s for Chile, and 8 put on for Russia. Everybody else is going to hold as they are, and Chile is going to win and move on. Looked like Chile had one of their own marbles knock in another marble, and so they both score 8, and they win it by a score of 16-8. And the last matchup in this first round is Brazil against Spain. Spain is on the left side in the red, Brazil with mostly yellow. And of course they come. I think that was a 10 for Brazil. Everybody trying to find their way in. That's 2 more for Brazil. Spain trying to get something to go. Almost knocked it in the 10. Still going. Knocked in Brazil. Brazil picks up another one. They score 15 with an assist from Spain at the end. And Spain cannot knock one of their own marbles in. And so the quarterfinals are set. It is Cameroon against India, as they will determine the first of our final 4. India in the white, Cameroon in the green. It was an interesting matchup where Spain helped out Brazil. That was a 7, and then a 4 and a 2. And so India with their 7, that you'll see right there. And then the 4. And there is the 2 for Cameroon. If they had been able to knock the other one in, they could have advanced a low-scoring 7-6 win. And now Argentina against England for a spot in the semifinals. England again in the red. Argentina with the baby blue. Matching the color of their country's flag. A 2 for England, and that might be it. It is. Everybody else holds. There's a 6 and a couple by the 10s, but neither are able to make their way into or through that area and lock in the points. So England wins it by a final of 2-0. Mexico and Chile now. Mexico hasn't knocked anybody in now. Now they have a 4. There's a 7. One more left. It is not going to go in. And it's a tie, but Mexico is going to advance. There is no rego, or like an extra overtime period, as Mexico scored in the larger holes, and so they get the tiebreaker win. They're into the semifinals. That'll be controversial, as Portugal and Brazil take on each other now. There's a 4, a 6 for Brazil. See if anybody else can score. There's a 4 for Brazil. A 6 for Portugal, and a 4 for Brazil again. They will advance with a 14-10 win. There's one of them. There goes the 6 for Brazil. There was a 4. There was a 6. And then we'll watch at the end. Brazil gets the bounce, and they knock it through the 4 to advance to the semifinals, which is set. Mexico, India, England, and Brazil. As Mexico wins on the controversial ruling. And now they'll try to take on India and see if they can beat India as well. Make their way into the finals. Saw a couple 2s. There is another 2 for Mexico. There's a 10, and that'll do it. Mexico needed help, and they got it. At the very end, they score a 10 after the first 2 went to 2s, And you see India at the bottom right corner at the 8 hole, unable to knock it through. Mexico advances to the championship. And they will face either England or Brazil. Loser will take on India in the 3rd place matchup. Winner gets Mexico for all the marbles. There was a 10. And a 7. A 2. Let's see if Brazil can come up with a clutch shot near one of the one of the spinners. It will not collide, and that's that. England wins it thanks to that early 10. The 2 at the end helps, and just 1-7 for Brazil, so it's England against Mexico. But first it'll be India against Brazil for a spot on the podium. Brazil starts from the left side, India from the right. Make their way. There was a 10. An 8. Brazil highly scoring early. India unable to score, period. They knock in a 6. They are running out of time. They need a big hit. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. They do score a 6, but Brazil puts a 10 and an 8 on the board. There was the 10. And here comes the 8 right there. And just that 6 for India. As they are unable to get onto the podium, Brazil wins 3rd place. And now it comes down to the championship match. It is Mexico against England. And back to the top to the starting gates for the final time. The gates lift, and it's England in the red, Mexico in the green for the gold. Here we go. It's a 7, and there's a 3, both going for England. Mexico is having trouble. It looks like all of Mexico's marbles are going to stall. They are. England's going to win it. They knocked in a 7, and then at the end they get a 3, and Mexico had all of their marbles stall, and so England wins it by a shutout of 10-0. Mexico gets 2nd. Brazil will get 3rd. As they are placed onto the podium. But bragging rights, the opportunity to sit higher than the other countries, and that giant trophy all belong to England as they are crowned champions here in this collision tournament. The effort was there, but Mexico at the end, after getting through on a technicality and then winning against India in the semifinals, they could not compete with England, as the Brits are able to take home this championship win. So congratulations to England, to Mexico, to Brazil, and to all of our competitors, as England wins this one in the tournament for the collisions with the spinners. Until next time, I'm Rick O'Shea, and thanks for watching MSPN's coverage of Marble Fubeca.